Yeah, love those. Very pretty red. No, well, it's kind of a pretty too. It's just kind of an area. Oh, that's cool.
Good morning, everybody.
Morning.
My name is Fabian. I'm taking you for the street for the tour. Not Fabian, the racing car driver. Not the sinner, but Fabian from Conflict Islands. At the back is Mika. Say hello to Mika, please. Mika, in fact, is the best keeper on the island, which I got him to do his job here. He's promised us to avoid all the swells over here, so please Mika, be a good boy. If he doesn't keep up to his promise, then we have life jackets above us. I'll show you how to do it, but he'll tell us what job we do, so there should be details. Anyway, first of all, we welcome you to this island, Panasesa. We're really happy to have you guys. Please stay for the 4th day and the 5th day, because I'll have plenty money to take home. But otherwise, it's really great to have you guys. So thank you very much for being around. We'd like you to enjoy your day the fullest. This island we come from is called Panasesa. The prefix Pana means island and Esa means wealth or rich. So I don't know if you're going to dig around and find some dollars or something around this island, but I'm going to take you deep into the and some of the you will definitely find fresh water. Sweet fresh water and food, and there's abundant protein in the sea. So if you have to miss the carnival, then you'll be okay with me and I until the next cruise comes, then we can send you. Otherwise, another historical point. This thousands of years ago, this had been the end of the island New Guinea, the tip. And at the tip of the island New Guinea, there had been a very large volcano. So most of these islands, the 22 islands, they lay on the caldera of once upon a time had been a volcano submerged to the sea. So now the waterline goes back to Halotau, and this is really the sea. So this is basically how it is. You might be asking also one question: how did it get its name? Conflict. This island over here, it's called Kirai Island. HMS Conflict. The King's boat ran around this island. And that's why
take your bag up, bring your bag up.
1980, they call it. Most of the ships, I mean most of the captains were going to Aussie and coming up this way to the north. They realized that HMS Conflict was there, so they said, okay, let's call these islands, 22 islands, Conflict Islands. Please, nothing to do with my grandparents having a big conflict. Lastly but not the least, the historical part of it, the first man to inhabit the island, a white man, was by the name of Henry Wiggins. He came with his wife Violet, and they stayed 5 years at the island called Ita Marina around these Conflict Islands. They lived for 5 years, and when he went to Queensland, he left his poor wife here, and 3 years later she found her own way and went to Queensland. So again, please guys, don't leave your wives here, take them back to Queensland. This is the same man who went to Brazil, and he said that he'll take 72,000 specimen seeds, so they'll take them to the laboratory in England so that they can be able to test the rubber plants. It was all a lie. He took them to, that time India was a colony of Britain. He took them to India and they plant them in 1,700 sprout. So from there, Britain monopolized the rubber markets. And that's the man that he was the one who, he was knighted by the Queen, and he died in Queensland. Anyway, there's some history. If you want to come between the time, I can ask you numbers.
Yeah. Is it? Huge.
Now let's do more looking and less looking.
Yum, yum.
Sorry about that.
You eat it?
Well, you're looking now.
Sea cucumber.
We are too heavy. What is a coral? Is it a plant or an animal? Very good. suppose it's an animal. Let's say an upside down jellyfish sitting down on a limestone cup like this.
Oh.
An upside down jellyfish sitting down on a limestone cup. Okay, in the night, what happens is that if you see the holes over here, the different types, we have about 450 to 490 different species. I just got only one. There are holes over here, some are boulders and some are that's why it's like this.
This is on the
There's
edge of the
holes in there. What happens is that
From the
the
very
tentacles
edge.
come out,
Yeah.
they capture their food and they eat it at night. It's called passive feeding. In the daytime,
It just drops off.
through the process of photosynthesis, they make the food. That's why the color you can see down there is a bit like green, brownish. What's that moss type of thing there that is in the reef? The last thing, 10? Okay, I'll tell you. What we're looking at right down there is about 90 to 100% healthy coral. Basically, scientifically, I'll tell you why. If you look to the side of the boat, you realize that there's a very clear water. It's not like in Alotau. It's really murky. You cannot see anything there because of the nitrogen flow from the town. And also over here, we don't have any big agricultural system where there's a lot of fertilizers and like pesticides that we try to there's a runoff of nitrogen. We don't have any big mold here, neither no factories. It's just Papua Island. There's no contamination. There's no runoff of nitrogen. So one, there's no runoff of nitrogen, and two, the water is clear. So the process of photosynthesis that will make the food will be greater. So what we're looking at down there is really plenty food for the reef. Can you see crown of thorns somewhere there?
The reef?
Any crown of thorns? Hardly crown of thorns. The crown of thorns have been eaten by shells like this. The spider shell, this one here. The crown of thorns, these things eat the crown of thorns. So if we happen to take these things out, then who eats the crown of thorns? Then if there is a nitrogen flow into the sea, you're going to realize that there's crown of thorns. It's not healthy to see crown of thorns all over the place like this. It just shows that that's the beginning of bleaching. So what we're looking at right down there, bleaching, the bleaching of coral. Okay. So what we're looking at right down there scientifically is 90 to 100% healthy coral. Okay, now please, I'll take your minds away from economics. Please don't believe what you see on the postcard. Now, in economics, red is called an advertisement color. Many companies, they try to advertise with red because when I get a fresh card, maybe Westpac, and I go, boom, definitely you'll see that's Westpac. Just by looking at the two W's, the red against the white, this contrast, straight away you're going to tell me it's Westpac. Digicel uses it. McDonald's uses it. Red Rooster uses it. Coca-Cola uses it. Papua New Guinea, they use it. Most of these companies use red. Psychologically, when you see warm colors, red, orange, any warm color, definitely you're going to get hungry. So when you go into the shop, okay, I'll have one Pepsi, two Coke. You call in all the red labels, which you will not know. And that's how economics is successful advertisements. They use the red. So definitely, if I take a photograph over here, it will really, really dark. So if I sell it, it will not sell. So I have to take it back to my computer, and I have to Photoshop. I play around with the color red. I draw some white and it gets pink, and I draw some blue and it becomes purple. So I play around with colors, and then as soon as I get the background and the foreground right, I start to do another thing. Cut, copy, and paste. So I get maybe a fish from Rabaul, and I paste it and I say that's a fish from Panasesa. I get a fish from Kirewina, and I paste it at the side of the coral. And then after I've finished, I said, okay, that's done. And then I put it with the counter, and you come along and you look at the postcard and you say, wow, one day I will go to conflicts and I will see this very colorful coral. And now when you come to conflicts, when you look down, you see the reality of what science can give you. That science is fact.
Yeah.
This is the fact that you're looking in there. That's 100% made for pearl. So economics is all about money. They take the money and they pay it, and they're successful selling the poster. So economics is about money. So that's economics. So for now, please believe Fabian conflicts that what we're looking down at is very, very healthy coral. Okay, now we want to know about bleaching. In 2017, we were very lucky. We avoided bleaching because most the atoll over here, when the pocket is heated up by the sun, most other parts they heated up to 29 to 30 degrees, even they went 32 degrees, and it was bleaching. Over here, what happened is that because of the cool currents coming out, so there are a lot of gaps in currents coming in. So it comes across and it kept it constant. So we were very lucky, no bleaching in Conflict Island. However, this year we had about 150 ships coming around base. So we have 3 or 4 locations that now the snowball pontoon was. 2 of them on the other side there. One there, and now we've shifted over here. Why? It's because when they're snorkeling, what happens is they're going to be standing on the corals, and these ones like this, they will break them off. The boulders, they will survive. So it's really good to snorkel, but it comes with a price to pay. So we have to try our best to manage the disadvantage.
Yellow coral?
And
Wow, so deep.
the poisonous ones are the ones that look like a spider. They're very thin, black. And these are poisonous corals. So that's the one that the red base snapper and the black base snapper, they love to eat that type of coral. So when you are trying to eat, it's a very beautiful fish, but you must clean the stomach properly because some people who don't know how to clean the fish, you know, sometimes they start food poisoning because it eats toxic coral. Okay, my people love to get this bleached coral over here. Lastly but not the least, they get this bleached coral and they burn it with the pillar tree, and they get this lime. It's called calcium carbonate, CaCO3 in chemistry, and they mix it with the betel nut, the mustard, and they chew the betel nut. According to science, when you put litmus paper inside acid, it turns red. So that's what they put the acid into the mouth, and they chew it, and the mouths get really red. It's really cultural to us. We prefer to have the betel nuts rather than having the coffee. So most of my people, they love the betel nut with all their heart. If I was going to have the meeting, or if I was going to have a feast, I will not bring any like biscuits or what. That's out of the context here. I will have to bring betel nuts, beets, and something like that. So that we can be able to show and dance. And the icon, it's like kava. But kava has a very bad hangover. The betel nut, the first betel nut you have, you start talking too much. After the second one, you start boasting. And after the third one, you realize that you'll be tricking your friends. So they love to trick each other and bring the betel nuts. I didn't want to chew betel nut, but my father used to kiss me and push the betel nut in my mouth. Wow. And that's how we got to chew. So after some years, when I started to learn chemistry, I disagreed trying to do that to my children. So I stopped chewing betel nut myself, and I stopped my children not to chew betel nut. So when they asked me, where are you from? I said, I'm from the Tropic Islands. They said, wow, you're a rare one. You're not chewing betel nut. I said, oh, thanks to chemistry. So that's the story about lime and the bleached coral that people try to use this around the place. Okay? If you're looking down there, you will realize that the corals right down there, you're going to realize that you're going to see some small fish. These small fish, most of them are parrot fish. They're black parrot fish. But they're small. a female parrotfish. When they grow big and they turn into color, they become male parrotfish. Barracuda is different. When they're small, they're female, they're male, and when they're big, they become female. So most fish are this way. Okay, now most of these herbivores, if you look down, you realize that there's like some sand. Some sand there. What do you think that sand is there for? Did Mika and I sprayed some sand and come and throw it here for you guys to come and see around here? No. So how did the sand get here? Okay, very good. They eat the algae and they poo the sand. Okay, so most of the herbivores like the parrotfish, the rabbitfish, all these fish, they poo the sand. That's why you see 90% of this sand has been formed by these herbivores that are doing the work. So if you are trying to harvest these herbivores, take them out and start to take them back. And who's going to build the islands? So these are really people who build islands, the herbivores.
So we're sitting on fish poop over on
That's right. That's right. Only 10%, 5 to 10% is being formed from weathering and erosion. Otherwise, most of it is being pulled from herbivores. So you can see the sandbar. This sandbar from Panasesa all the way to Uri. If there's a low tide and good moonlight, you can just walk across over here and right to this next island. So most of the islands are connected like this, and that's the growth, new growth of island. And later when a coconut goes and stays there, then you realize that the ground comes up, and that's how the island grows basically. So if we go in there and slow the train, we're only looking for trouble. I really wish to eat the fish here, but I'm not allowed to do so. My bosses are feeding me with sausages and chicken, because everything here is about conservation. I wish to eat the fish here, but I cannot. If I do eat the fish, then I will not be the next to us.
They taste like chicken anyway.
Okay, we got shows. The knife.
Yes.
Okay. We use before we use the obsidian. There is different types of obsidian stone. Some of them are like glass. That one is used for like if my head was leaking, we didn't use Panadol. What our mothers will do is they get obsidian, they cut your head, they get the blood off. They said they get the bad blood off, so they cut us over here on the forehead. And that's the thing that we use to cut a very sharp edge razor blade, that one. And we can use that also to peel our food. And even some shells. We use shells to scrape coconuts, and we also use the shell to peel our bananas and our food. Before the steel thing came around. So that's basically how we cook our food. No. I used to be really bright. Okay, it goes 10 and it goes 400. 400 meters. Okay, remember we are here. We are here at the moment. This is Panasesa, and we are here. This is Uri Island, and we are outside. So this drop, this is the caldera. This is the caldera. This is the whole part, and we are at the drop. So the drop here is 400 all around this way here. Okay. It's very deep. We have a program. It's been here for about maybe 8 years. It's called CICI. It's the Conflict Island Conservation Initiative, and it's aimed at trying to protect all these reefs, resources, sharks, or manta rays for the future generations. And now our logo is turtle. Turtles, we realize, are very vulnerable animals.
There's a turtle?
Turtle matures sexually when it's 30 years old. And that's sometimes most of them didn't really reach that age, and they're slaughtered. And those ones that have reached the age, people slaughter them. It's really, really bad because they are on an endangered list, and we try to have more of the, especially the female tails, and someone comes and just gets an elderly tail out. It's really, really bad. So how do you determine that it is a 30-year-old, 30 plus? We measure from the top of the back over here, shell, and right to the bottom of the shell here. It must be 95 centimeters or more, then it is a mature tail. We have about 6 species that come around here, but only 2 nest, and they feed around this place here. And by now they should already return from Australia last month, October all the way to March. They'll be with me here. So what I do, I go back to Iraq with the turtle rangers. We go there and we dig the eggs. We're trying to save them from predators such as the goanna and the cats, and also the human beings. And also, let's see, we go on. What I do is I go in the back and I sleep, wait for the turtle. I put a red light, and she doesn't see a red light. So she comes around and I start digging. So she digs, and I help her to dig here. Oh, if I have to wait for her and she digs, I might take a long time because I need to go back and sleep on the island. So I have to help her dig. And as soon as she finishes digging, she will lay eggs. So I collected 101 oxspring turtle eggs, and I bring them to Panasesa and I put them with a hatchery. If you're walking around the island, you will realize that there's some hatcheries around the island. Even some turtles come and they lay the eggs on that island. So we want all the turtles to lay eggs on this island, so everything will be there. So according to incubation, hot chicks and cool youths. That means that when it's raining and the sun is cool, more males. But we want a hot sun like this so that they will hatch. We want meat females. So after that, 101, only 90 hatch. So I took them to the nursery. Okay, very importantly, after they go to the nursery, they look after them until 8 months, and they get bigger, like 2 of my pounds, like this. And as soon as they're big enough, they take that back straight to the GPS location. Now, the turtle has a mechanism in its brain where if it comes out the sand, it can calculate the longitude and the latitude. So it can go and walk around, it can spin around, but whatever, it will still come back to that same place where it laid its GPS location. So at the moment they're here with me, and they're going to come to March. They're going to come to New South Wales at the top, New South Wales, and they'll start floating, making all the way to New Guinea, Queensland to New Guinea, and then they'll come all the way to Conflict Islands. So we track them on the satellite tags. Our satellite tags, we buy them from Brisbane. It's about $600 for one tag. So just imagine if we tag a turtle and somebody gets it along the way, there goes the money. So it's very risky business. My boss has spent about 15 million for this thing over here. Last year he gave me 60 minutes because there was no help from Papua New Guinea and Aussie government. He said he was going to sell this place, and nobody wanted to be sold to anyone. So they said, okay, that's okay. The PNG government started to give us some money, and now Australia too is giving us some money for this program. So we'll continue the program. Also, these people around here are very, very privileged to have somebody like Ian, a billionaire, to come around here and also put these programs and educate these people here. If you went to Kirowena, you realize that people, really sorry, but you might question me, why are they doing this favor? But I tell you, lack of knowledge is a killer, and it's also it's about educating the people so they can know to rationally judge something. Because, like for example, these guys here now would know which group of age of turtles that they can be able to hunt. You cannot just hunt any old out. You have to hunt a certain age so they can have it for meat. You see the other one? So we've been trying to educate them on this thing over here. And most of them come to scuba diving courses over here. and some other courses that he tries to help them with. They even go to the conservation courses in Port Moresby. So these guys, like I said, they're really privileged. Unlike the ones in the north, they should have somebody to come and try to help them, so that educate them, and the people should understand the importance of this team, and also try to see how tourists come in. Because if this is just a new market, and most people in Papua New Guinea do not know how to sell products and buy products to tourism. Like for an example, when you see it on the video, you say, wow, I'll go there. But when you go there, you get there, you realize that, wow, I wasted my money. I should have gone there, like something like that. So we have to sell our products properly and make it worth the price.
Fishies.
So this is something that we have to improve on. I believe if we do that for tourism, we can be able to help our Kina, because at the moment, when the money comes from the Parliament House, it's 100%, and when it comes to Fabian, it's up. I think I received 0.000002. So like my dad says, do not trust the man in dark blue suit. So like the bureaucrats will get out of the way,
In the
and
dark blue suit.
it comes here and you get less of it. However, when the tourists come, it's the other way around. They bring the money straight to the village over here, to the people. So it's like 100% we get it from here. So it's good to have the tourism and try to encourage that. And I also see another advantage in tourism where there's some history that we have together. We have like in this, we have this quarantine, but it is hardly in our curriculum. We don't learn it in our curriculum. So it's our job to try our best to get our children to get doctorates, to get thesis, to try to play some of the history
coral.
in the curriculum, so that we can be able to learn it instead of learning what somebody wants us to learn about. The moment somebody is telling us, you learn this, you learn this, you learn this,
Yeah.
we're not learning what we really own. So tourism is a good thing to bring it out and speak it out and then try to revive it, make it survive. Okay, apart from these, when I say sharks, so no, not shark. We feed our sharks here. The biggest shark we have here is the tiger shark. And then the ugly one, the hammerhead. I do a lot of night diving and I don't like the look of the hammerhead. It's maybe it's just looking for its food, but I will never stay closer to hammerhead shark. It's so dangerous. So but we live with the sea. We're very much connected with the sea. Most of our kundu beats, our traditional songs, we compose it from the sea. Anything about magic or whatever, you have to come to the sea in the morning to get the air that is from the sea, so that you can be able to do things that can beat the law of physics or law of gravity or whatever it is. But everything comes from the sea. And all the rules we have when you go diving, everything, fishing, the rules that are set. And I love to do night diving. My dad always takes me for night diving when I was in 6th grade. So now I intend showing my son what to do. We don't take them to the classroom to say 1 + 1 equals this fish, 1. No, we take them straight into the sea. But there's certain rules you must follow because they're sharks. And there's some other poisonous things that you must not touch there. There's also some snakes that you might think there's a white snake, there's some dots that if you see in the sea, don't touch them. You just have to move away. So they will give you some tips, some things that they will remind you of. Rule number 1, the Phrygian reef is there. Phrygian reef is where gulp breeders are. Gulp breeders are fish that they just gulp the water, they go on, and they breathe it through the gills. Ram breeders, they go fast and they ram the water in the mouth and they breathe it through the gills. These are like fish like tuna, yellowfin, barracuda, sharks. They are all ram breeders. Okay, now if a white tip shark is where the Phrygian reef and it's a gulping, it's not harmful because it's a gulp breeder and it's on this side. So the rule is, when you see the drop, where the drop is, you keep on the Phrygian reef. Don't go to the deep side here where the ram breeders are. You get this fish like this. they're really good for the frying pan and the bread. If you put it with milk there, wow, it's really good taste. So you don't have to get the very big ones. You're gonna risk yourself. You can go trolling or deep, maybe bottom fishing and get these ones over here. But for diving, you just keep to the rules. Rule number 2: when you see a log, please don't lie on the
Wow,
log
how green that
and
is.
start
See how green that is?
splashing. From beneath, you look like a reptile. And sharks, they don't like that. They sense stress. They sense weakness. So they will snap you off. So when you see a wood, push it out. Rule number 3: do not put the fish around your waist. You will bait yourself. So what we do, we use a 20-liter container. I attach the rope to my son, and then when I kill the fish, I give it to him, and he puts it in the container. When the container is full, then we put it in the SK and we go home. So it's just 1 hour dive. And the last rule is that when you see a shark, don't panic. Don't panic. You need your brains. You need to think. You cannot panic and say shark, and you are doing this, and you're trying to swim to the beach. Don't do that. Sharks don't like to be poked in the nose or in the eyes. So you need a spear. You need a spear diving. You just have to put the shark away. And when it goes, I tell my son to get on, and then I'll ask him, have a look at it. Is it around? He said it's still around. So I'm there to check it. I have to make it, and it will go far away because I have to get on the canoe. And when I get on the canoe, I'm going to splash some water. And the sharks, when they see splashing is not a really good sign. So when they come to the top, because their mouth is at the bottom, they will turn around and cut you like a razor, and they will go down. So I have to wait for my son. He has to tell me that it's gone far away, and then I climb into the canoe. And then we go to the next spot. That spot there is not a good spot. It might be a mating ground for the sharks. And you'll be there and they snap you. The males will not respect you. So you have to get to the next spot, find a fish,
Wow,
and
look
go
at that.
home. You came here to find fish, not to play around with sharks. So in Medan we had an attack north of Papua New Guinea where 6 people were attacked by the shark, and those ones knew how to swim. While they were swimming to the shore, the shark cut them. And the only person who survived was a person who did not know how to swim. When the shark came, he got his finger, 2 fingers like this, and he poked the shark in the eye, and the shark never came back to him. So it's a lesson to really learn over here. Do not panic. You need your brains. You need to think how to counter attack and all that stuff. So these are rules set by old people. You cannot teach a little new tricks.
It's a turtle.
Turtle? Green turtle.
Oh, there it is.
The green turtle
See
is,
it?
you will see the shapes. It's different. You can see a pentagon. You can see
He's gonna go
square.
back.
You can
Reverse.
see a triangle. And a green turtle is defined, the shapes. The hawksbill turtle, 2 things. It has a sharp nose like a
Hey,
hawk.
go on now.
And another one is the shell is very thick, and that's the one that is used for jewelry. So probably if you want to discourage this selling of the hawksbill turtle, probably we should not buy anything that is
Gone.
turtle jewelry. That's how we can discourage the markets, so that we can be able, because hawksbill turtle is on an endangered blacklist. When you're coming from Kiruna, you realize that the ladies had very big earlobes. Maybe some ladies be wondering how will they put the earrings, because they have very big earlobes. They put turtle shells right around over here. These turtle shells that they put are just signs that their father has this hierarchy. So if you count less than 10, then you know that she comes from a clan with red parrot and green parrot. When it's 10 to 15, then you know that that lady is an eagle clan. And if it goes over from 15 upwards, then she belongs to the highest clan, the dove. So you do not want to play around with these ladies who have 15 plus. We come from a matrilineal society, and even though I sit on the chair and try to rule, my mother or sister will be telling me, don't do this, do that, don't do this, do that. They will instruct me what to do because they are the boss.
That's fair.
So that's matrimonial society.
As it should be.
So for now, ladies, yes, we are good in Namibia province.
Y'all go ahead and drink
That works that way. We're just more subtle.
Anyway, apart from what we've talked about, this beautiful place that we see here, once upon a time had been a battlefield. Which battle do you think took place over here? Not Milne Bay, the Battle of the Coral Sea. Very good. Okay, further around this way there, towards maybe 120 miles this way, is the Lexington. The Lexington, what ship belongs to the Lexington? Whose carrier is that? US carrier. Okay, Shokaku, which carrier is that? Belongs to? Japan. Okay. It's about 800 miles towards the west this way here. So if this place dries up, we will see zeros and we will see people mass over here, right down here. So what is left we need to see is some history back in from May 4 to May 8 in 1942. So this is right about 80 to 90 years and it's rusting here right underneath here. So you can see the piece that we are in, but once upon a time, this had been our history. So let me just brief you on the history of what happened over here. This code, MO, was intercepted by the Americans, and the objective of MO was to capture Port Moresby. Port Moresby it is on the southern part of the island, New Guinea, and if you capture Port Moresby, you would isolate Australia and New Zealand from the rest of the Pacific. And as soon as they're vulnerable, they will go through. So that's how the commanders and how this intelligence, they were doing this stuff here. They wanted, it was Operation Emo. However, it failed. They never captured Port Moresby. So they had to get back to Rabaul and they said, okay, let's get motorbikes and horses and go over to Kokoda. Bad idea, guys. Kokoda, when you go to the top of the mountain, you have 40 ranges. When you have 40 ranges, you know you have 40 valleys. When you go down the mountain, when you're coming up the mountain, you must know that you will have to cross the river 40 times to get up to the top. Motorbikes and horses, bad idea. They shoved it in a town called Kokoneta. To this date, we call it cowboy country. And then they realized that the 46th Regiment squad, they were building airstrips in Alotau. So they said, okay, let's capture Alotau, bring the zeros from Rabaul. Rabaul is about 1,300 kilometers northwest of where we are. Bring them here, closer to Kokoda, support the campaign, and capture Port Moresby. That is the objective here now. However, it turned out that the Battle of Milne Bay was first won by so-called underestimated chocolate soldiers. You know chocolate, you put it in the sun and it will melt. Most of the elite soldiers of Australia were already gone to Europe to fight. 2nd 17th, 2nd 9th, 2nd 11th, 2nd 12th. They've been already going to Europe. What was left in Aussie was the 7th Division. These guys are like Sunday mess, Monday shoot deer, and Wednesday you get your name signed up for New Guinea War. So they come, they call themselves koalas. You know, you cannot export a koala from Australia. And also, sometimes they call them the chocolate soldiers. With the help of the First Class Angels, they rendered the first win. It was like a spark of hope. Later, Kokoda fell in. Later, other parts of New Guinea fell in. The last one was won in Bougainville. And that's when the soldiers said, okay, let's play a state of origin. So the first state of origin was played in Torokina, Bougainville. And that's where the Maroons won the game. Sorry, it was not the Maroons. I don't know who won the game, but I just wish the Maroons won the game. Yeah. After that, that is the end of how the history goes over here. But basically, this history is not taught in our curriculum. If you ask me about the presidents of America, and I know all the presidents of America. I know about the Tsar of Russia. I know about Rasputin. I know about French Revolution and Napoleon Bonaparte. I know about Adolf Hitler, Germany and Poland. I know about Mussolini Benito and Italy. All these things we learn about in history, but we don't learn about the 62nd Battalion, the chocolate soldiers. We don't learn about the fuzzy Indians. We don't learn about the different Germany's. You see, they got ranks. They're not normal imperial army. Some of them have names like Yokosuka. Some of them like Kore. Some of them have names like Sasebo. And if you ask what's Sasebo, they have no idea. The history student doesn't know because basically it's not in curriculum. But I thank you guys because in fact you are the guys who are coming around. We have to go and take this information so that we can be able to present something like, for example, something about biology and also put it with the whole history and then give back to you guys. We have to get it accurately so we can be able to pass it on to you guys. And we will need also our children in future to try to get doctorates so they can be able to get this information and put it in the school so that we can learn it. That's our history, you and my history. Our history with the Asians, that's our history. We have to be proud of this history. Because after all, after war brings, nobody wins the game, everybody is a loser. But it brings memories. You see, now we have donations from Japan and also from Aussie. But like I say, you don't trust the man in that. So he's the one who is putting in the money. And what is left to the people who have to look after the war members is very less. Anyway, on behalf of you guys, I thank you very much for coming around. We hope you enjoy this story and story. You have a good day today and safe trip back to us. Okay? Thank you very much.
Because you know, it's a while and it's they have a glass bottom tour. Fantastic. As good as this, really. Different. Because you're looking at sea grasses and cuttlefish. But stunning. Absolutely stunning. You have to go between May, like the season starts in May, and whenever the cuttlefish stops coming. So usually about the end of July or August. 45 minutes. Doesn't go offshore at all.
Yeah, we wouldn't get this far off.
No way.
And by the time the guy told you his name and said there's a life jacket, you looked down and
There's a cuttlefish. And they change colours and stuff. Yeah. It's absolutely brilliant. And it was only I think like $80 or something. It was not expensive.
you don't waste any time getting there.
And the guy can answer any question you can really, really absolutely brilliant. I tell everybody this is what they should pay me.
I wouldn't advise them to go down there that time of year.
Because if, like, you can snorkel, but you've got to wear a really big wetsuit because the water's so cold. But if you go out the glass on the boat, you can see everything. Absolutely fantastic. We went this year for this project. They've only been operating with glass one boat. Cuttlefish have been there forever, but yeah, they haven't made much. But, you know, we loved it so much, we'll be back next year if we can. So, you know, it's really great. I think, you know, and it's the world on site. Yeah. It's the only place in the world that can be found. And they can't track them because they won't attach anything. No. So like a jellyfish, you know, they don't have spines.
They live right in.
They don't know where they go. Just north of Wales.
I think that's better than the
Point low, low time.
better value too.
Yeah, because you're not
Thank you. My bag's all wet.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome, man. That's it.
Thank you.